When I first listened to Sick Boi by Ren, I came away thinking it's more than just a song. It's a message. It's a reflection of how society sees illness today. It's a reflection of Ren's personal experience of that, an experience that we can all relate to. And over the next few minutes, I want to share with you some of my thoughts and my personal experiences that relate to this.
Complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration. Drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown.
In Sick Boi, Ren really lays it bare about his own personal experience of mental illness, and he talks a lot about the stigma that still exists today around mental health, mental illness, both within the medical profession, but also just in society as well, what people's knowledge is, what people's tolerances are. And he plays off some of the tropes and some of the kind of cliches really around that. He really kind of highlights that in his video, and his focus on his own personal experience around mental health, mental illness, disease, the medical system, and the impact and effect it's had on his life, and how debilitating it's been for him, how life-changing and life-limiting in certain ways it's been for him. It's like really present through those themes, and I can relate to some of that, and I want to share a little bit of that with you today. I've been suffering with depression over the last few years, really, and life's become incredibly debilitating for me in a lot of ways. And I've really had to reduce the amount of commitments that I make in life. I've had to try and find ways to manage my anxiety. I've had to cut back on a lot of the things that I enjoy in life because I can't cope with the pressure anymore in the way that I used to. And my phone has just flicked on to flash mode, so my face is now illuminated, so I'm officially in the dark section, so I might walk backwards. Yeah, I've had a massive amount of time off of work. Luckily I was supported in that, so I didn't lose my job. But I've had a life-changing experience over the last couple of years, really, and I'm on medication. I've been on several different kinds of medication. I have had to relearn quite a lot in life. Things I know, but, trying to get confident, being around people again, understanding what my limits are in life now. There's stuff that I used to do that I just can't stand anymore, and that's really difficult. I used to love social situations, but that's kind of like my nemesis now. That's really hard. I just want to be on my own. I have so many side effects from medication, and that gives me like mood swings sometimes. I'm tired a lot. I find it hard to lose weight now. Easy to gain, hard to lose. Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff might sound kind of trivial, perhaps, compared to Ren, but with what he's been through, and I'm not claiming to sort of, have Lyme disease or anything that's meaning that I need to be having, hospital treatment or anything for what I have. But like, I know like so many people like suffer with depression and anxiety and different mental health conditions that are around that, and it it monopolizes your life in so many ways. It dictates how you live, the choices you make, the decisions you make, the quality of your life, what opportunities you say yes to, how determined you are to do anything in life. It's the line between kind of surviving and thriving as well, I think, which I know is a common phrase, surviving and thriving, because a lot of the time you are just surviving. You just need the basics, roof over your head, food, feeling warm, feeling comfort in whatever that comfort is, watching a film, resting, sleeping, having a cuddle, Um, it's all that's, the simple stuff, the basics, for human beings. That's all we need, and that's all that's enough on most days. Anything else is a bonus. So yeah, I've like returned to kind of like my old life, if you like, pre-depression. But yeah, it's it's a massive struggle still trying to sustain things. And I've got three small children, so busy house, busy home life, and my wife and I are constantly juggling stuff between us as well. And then family woes, like we all have family woes in different ways, and yeah, just work commitments. And I travel quite a lot as well, so and I've become financially reliant in a way because we've got a mortgage, we've got family. So I can't just, it's not easy just to say quit your job and all that, because it's got an impact, and it's going to cause more stress and more drama. So anyway, that's me rambling on about uh, my troubles. Let's get back to Ren, shall we? And Sick Boy.
Lake oil, I'm about to break, boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain. Have another go. Take another pill. Here, take a couple more. Let's see how you're doing in another week or so. You'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show.
Yeah,
Derealization.
take a pill, Ren. Have a couple more. That's all you need. There you go. It's the meds. This will sort you out. So I've got three key takeaways that I want to talk through with you. Number one, owning your illness. Ren doesn't shy away from that in Sick Boy. He gets into detail about what he's going through, what he's been suffering with, how he's dealing with it. And it's really important to get your mindset in that place. I've had to learn to accept that I'm not mentally strong, that my mindset isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and that there are ways that you need to communicate to people if you want them to understand you, if you want to be able to get on and move forward in life, and it's definitely step by step in learning that and knowing what works for you and how you want people to support you and relate to you. So it's really important to feel confident and comfortable that if you're dealing with a mental illness, that's part of who you are. It's no different to having an injury or having a physical disability that people can see and people can relate to. You've just got to have the words and you've got to find the confidence and take things one conversation at a time with people. And that will help you to build your confidence. That's certainly been the case for me. Having conversations with work colleagues is quite different to having conversations with family and the neighbours and anyone else that's in your life. It's a different type of conversation. It's a different way of relating to people. And people will have different kinds of responses. But you've got to wear it. It's part of your identity. So own it. Number two, the inner battle. That is something that Ren talks about a lot in Sick Boy. And he's definitely peppered through some of his other songs as well. That sense of that personal struggle, that turmoil, that battle of the mind, and what the medication, what the system, what the quality of living, what it all does to you. And I can really relate to that. I hope many of you can as well. It's really tough, like that day to day, dealing with the moods, dealing with what life is throwing at you all the time. And there's what your mind wants to do, and there's what your body wants to do. Being able to cope with what life's throwing at you and what control you have over life, the people around you, and where you want to go, what you're motivated to be doing, and how much support you have around you, and dealing with all those life negatives. Yeah, we all have that kind of stuff to a degree because it's part of human society. It's the fabric. It's good and bad, but when it comes down to psychology and psychosis and your mental state and the impact that medication is having on you and the tests and the therapy and the counselling and the different professionals that you see and what people do and don't diagnose you with, or how they support you and how they don't support you, and then let you just go on again, go on about your life like, here's a plaster, crack on. It's that kind of stuff does a lot to you. It messes with your state of mind, it messes with your outlook on life, and you've got to keep that fire inside you burning if you want to keep moving forward. Otherwise, you'll just burn out and there's nothing of you left. And number 3, music is therapy. Clearly, Ren is using a song like Sick Boi to self-express his own experience, but so much of us can learn so much from Ren. Many artists and many musicians are able to express in such an articulate and particular kind of way that not everyone can. That there's that relatability to those personal experiences and how we're thinking, how we're feeling, how we're responding, what our needs are in life, our wants and our gains and our losses. And it's such a beautiful way to capture that essence of life. I think we can all learn a lot from music, and it can be calming, it can be relaxing, it can help us to process some of what we're going through. I've certainly lent on music a lot over the last few years when it comes to understanding my place in the world and what I want from life and how I'm able to kind of move forward and feel like I'm living again. There's some fantastic musicians out there that just speak so closely to what I've been going through and kind of what I aspire to be like as well. It's not just about reflecting your own struggles, but it's about what your aspirations are as well. You can learn a lot from music, as well as the fact that it can have such a calming and relaxing effect on you as well. It can help you zone out, it can help you meditate, it can help you sleep. I definitely tune into that as well. So thank you for listening if you made it this far in the video. So I am going to be releasing another Ren video shortly. I'm going to be doing a double bill on Troubles, looking at both his official version and the acoustic, because I'm a massive acoustic fan, generally speaking, and I know Ren is one of those who loves playing live. So if you're keen to see it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified. All right, take care. See you next time.